Coach Johnnie Cole. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the HBCU Coaches Corner on this Tuesday. Again, guys, we have men with very busy schedules. This is much of a hobby. It's a passion for all of us, but it is a hobby. And so a lot of times we don't get to have pre-production meetings. So we have our pre-production meeting on the fly just before we log on. And so it ran a little long, and I want to apologize. Charge it to our heads, not our hearts. We want to be timely. And I'll tell you this, Coach Cole and Coach Campbell are sticklers for time. It's because of me that we are late. So I apologize for that, guys. But with no further ado, before we get started, I want to ask, Coach Cole, how you doing?
Man, I'm great, Coach. As always, man, Tuesday night is some of the best feeling I've had and you know, have an opportunity to represent HBCU schools, HBCU coaches, the past and the present, and also the future of our athletic programs in HBCU schools.
And what about you, Mr. Campbell? You guys, your Rattlers finished up their season this week. Y'all got another victory. I know your expectations were that you guys would be playing this upcoming weekend. That's not the case, but how's it going? How you doing, man? How you coping with not being in the big game?
No, man. I'm gonna say this. You know what I like about all this? You know, and everybody got various shows, and I heard 3 weeks ago, oh, FAMU's in shambles, and the coach done lost the team, and FAMU's this, and then you know what? We win 2 games. I ain't heard nothing else. Where them people at, man? You know, we ain't in shambles no more. You know, the coach, I guess, got the team back. You know what I mean? So it's just amazing, man. You just got to play the game.
Started another streak.
You know, hey, man, listen, y'all, we got to start another one. You know what I mean? We kept one going with the Florida Classic, and, hey, man, we got one down, and now we got 24 more to go to break this streak. So, so my thing is, I'm glad. But, I'm going to say something real quick, man, real quick. Hey, man, shout out to my SU nephews, man, that's in the building, man. Them boys is, been around for years and things like that. And, they came to support their own. They going to keep me straight now, Coach. Now, we got some SU folks. These boys are diehard. They're youngsters, but they know their SU business because they let me know who the starting quarterback was, because I was going to go with T-Set. I see my niece Paris in the house. She going to keep us straight about Jack State, and stuff like that. I see one of my J-Town folks. So, man, I'm just having my folks in here, man. This is family tonight.
Well, make sure they call in so I can give them. I don't want them going down there with high expectations. At least I want them to go down there with some numbers on really reality of their chances of winning the championship. So make sure you guys call in, ask the questions of what you want and where you want to be. And on any given Saturday, somebody can beat somebody.
Hey, Coach, because I was late, I'm going to take a shot, Coach. I'm going to take a shot and those of y'all who don't know what this is, y'all tell me what this is. And if y'all know what this is, y'all can take a shot too. I'll give y'all a minute to figure out what this is. Y'all know what this is? If you don't know what this is, you need to get you some.
Well, Rocky, we know you big time. No.
I ain't big time.
That's that. Hey, look, the bottle look important.
No, you know what that is? Anybody who knows, that's Sir Davis.
That's Beyonce stuff.
That's Sir Davis. That's Beyonce's line of whiskey, and it is absolutely fantastic.
Your boy, look, I'm up on it. That's
Sir Davis. All right, Coach.
Hey, they said
wait,
I
got wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. We talk. Wait, Coach. One quick thing. Rocky, I need you to email that AD from Alabama State because he owed me a bottle of liquor. He owed me a bottle of liquor. He was doing all that big talk.
I thought you went she was up in the box, so I thought you went up there and addressed that.
We couldn't find him. And all my regular Alabama State people was asking me what thick 36 was, where the Escalator parked there, but I could not find the Alabama State AD. Hey, man, I need my bottle because my boys, my nephews from Southern are coming in town. My nephews and nieces from Jack State coming in town. We're going to drink on that Alabama State bottle because both Jack State and FAMU beat your behinds.
Hey, Coach,
even
we'll all be in Atlanta and next week.
I need that bottle, man. I got my nephews from Southern coming in. I got my niece and nephew from Jack State. We're going to drink on that Alabama State bottle. That's right.
And Perry said, Perry pulled out the apple crown. She went straight black folk on it. She pulled out the apple crown.
You know what? Paris, I'm gonna make sure I got a bottle just for you. You let me know when you get in town. I'm gonna have that bottle. I'm just gonna pull it to the side, head out the Escalade. I'm gonna keep rolling with thick 36. Get it straight.
I got you.
All right, man. All right.
We all need to show up next week, man, for the classic game. You know, we got to support HBCU football.
All right, Coach.
Already in the building.
All right, we gonna you already in Atlanta. I still got some convincing to do, Coach. So you might need to help me out with that. So with no further ado, we're gonna get on the last week, kind of recap last week big games. We had a real short slate of games, which I thought I was gonna be kind of bored last week, Coach, but I was really entertained by being able to kind of like focus on whatever game was playing in whatever particular time slot. And I thought it was a quite interesting week. FAMU looked a little different in my opinion in this game, meaning that they flexed their muscle in the running game like I hadn't seen them do all season. What were your thoughts, Campbell? And then we'll get Coach's analysis.
Listen, man, and I'm gonna say this: Coach Cozy coached this team, but we knew what the issue was. It was the play caller. It wasn't the players. It wasn't that we didn't have talent. It was the play calling. We changed the offensive play calling. Then all of a sudden we run the ball. Changed the offensive play calling. Guess what? We scored with 21 points finally. So, so a lot of that had to do with, us changing the play calling, man, because there were opportunities, especially the Valley game. And I give respect to Valley. They beat us. But play calling lost that game, just plain and simple. We should have won that game.
Is it play calling or is it play caller?
Play caller calling the plays. So yes, so this is play.
So he made a change.
Yes, he made a change.
Okay,
he made a change. And I'm gonna say that. Wait a minute. Hey, all y'all Jack State folks, y'all go find my nephew Zoe, cause y'all remember. Oh, Alabama A&M gonna beat. Hey, I need my money, Zoe. I need my money. So I need y'all, all my Jack State folks, when y'all go to the mass meeting tomorrow night, tell Zoe that Uncle Campbell needed money. And all them other jokers that was talking. So y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all remember that bet. I'm collecting all my bets because I owe Tedra some money. So I'm going to collect my bets so I can pay him off too.
Yeah. Coach Campbell, anything you want to add to that?
Well, listen, one other thing too, man. I'm proud that our defense stood up. Because, again, Paris was teasing us. She said that, Zoe said Alabama A&M was going to beat us. That was the first bet. But back in Paris, my niece said England was going to run for 200 yards on us. He only had 75 yards rushing. So, man, I mean, it was just the focus. And I'm just telling you something. This is a very important game, Coach, and honestly, because as they say, a lot of time people say, well, you don't have anything to play for at the end of the year. And this is a game that we usually don't play during Thanksgiving weekend. A lot of the kids are ready to go home, but I'm really excited that both the defense and offense were focused and came in there to understand this was a very important game for Florida A&M University to make sure that they did not go out on losing streak and also know to go on the offensive because they had lost this game. There would have been so many more questions, so many more things. The portal would have been jumping out of crazy. You would have had people doing 9-hour shows talking about picking up trash and doing things like that, how bad FAMU is. But you know what? Honestly, the defense and the whole team came together.
Yeah. I think it was exactly what you said. It was important for them to win this football game. Unfortunately, I'm still not sold. Again, FAMU's got to go reload. Coach Cozy's going to have to make some real big decisions on this offseason because he knows. See, and that's the difference, Bishop, and then being in the MEAC as a coach and in the SWAC. You got to score in the SWAC, Coach. You got to score. You got to score. Them them 17, 20, 23, 24. That's MEAC. MEAC is a power run conference. But in the SWAC, you got to be able to toss it around a little bit. Of course, you got to have some good running game. And you got to score. So, like you say, I think it was big. Anytime you win 7 games in a season, that's big. You know, first year, 7 games. I know, you know, the bar was set high for him. But like you said, I think Coach Cozy did a great job of circling the wagons and get those kids ready to play because they could have just laid down. On the other hand, Alabama A&M do what Alabama A&M do. You know, they score and they give up points. I think that has ran short for Alabama A&M. I had an opportunity to talk to Coach Maynard, you know, the week before because I called the game. And, you know, he was pretty excited about playing against Valley and looking forward to the game. So he was in good shape. I kind of had some talks with his staff. You know, they kind of felt like they were going to get past. You know, the president kind of made a mandate to say, hey, guys, look, I ain't going to never fire you for winning and losing unless you lose it to the schools that don't have what we have. You know, as your UAPBs, you know, your Mississippi Valleys. But unfortunately, I think they kind of wore on A&M that hey, guys, and me and Rocky said all the time, man, it's about championships. You know what I mean? And Maynard been right there. He been right there every year. You know, and right, that's like the boy who kept calling Wolf, and then all of a sudden when the Wolf showed up, nobody was there. You know, you've been right there. We need a championship. So unfortunately, I think, you know, I think they're gonna pay him his last year. You know, unfortunately for the assistant coaches, you know, you got to pack your bags and move on. So that was a big win for Florida A&M and for Coach Cozy. Not so well for Coach Maynard and his coaching staff.
Yeah. We'll move on to the next game. We'll discuss Maynard's situation at the end of the show where we'll address a lot of the coaching vacancies that are happening in HBCU football. But this game right here was interesting as well. To me, it was the best offensive game that I seen Alabama State play all year. The quarterback was actually effective in the passing game. And I'll ask you, Coach, to start this off. Was that just a factor of was the quarterback getting better, or was it just a factor of when you play down at a lower level, just you have the talent disparity creates more opportunities for you?
You know, I have to admit, I watched Tuskegee in person. I hadn't been impressed with them. They struggle scoring points. They're not the Tuskegee of old. You know, this Alabama State, first and foremost, gonna go play great defense. That's where they've been the last 3 years. They're gonna give the offense a short field, which that's what they done. They cut the run game off at ASU, and one common denominator is the offensive coordinator for Tuskegee. You know, he's been to 3 different places. You know, he hadn't got it right just yet. Hopefully he can come back and get things going in the right direction because, you know, once again, you got to score points, guys. You can't win games scoring 6 or 2 field goals. So Alabama State do what they do. You know, they're a great defensive program. They took a guy that was a wide receiver who played quarterback in high school and made him a quarterback. So, you know, you got to take your hat off to that. And hopefully, you know, they go out and either find a quarterback or as we always say, buddy, is he going to come back or not? You know what I mean? So, again, great season by Alabama State. I mean, let me take that great back. A good season by Alabama State. Take our hats off to Eddie Robinson Jr. 3 years ago. He was selling houses. Now he's the head coach of a Division 1A FCS team. You know, he's getting it done. He's keeping them right above water. You know, I know they're ready to jump out, but, you know, good season for him.
Well, I'm going to say this. Alabama State, and we'll probably talk about this too, you know, the all-SWAC team came out. They got all SWAC defensive players all over the place. I expected the score to be exactly what it is. You know, and anything above or less than that would have been a disappointment to Alabama State. The thing about this is, Coach knows this is a rivalry game, but it's more in name now. It's not so much as a matchup because of the heavyweight, you know, classes, as they say, the fight weight classes and stuff like that. So, I mean, I expected Alabama State to do this, to be honest with you, and things like that. They played Jackson State hard. They played us hard. They played to the level of their competition. So again, 34-6. I mean, what did you expect? I mean, Tuskegee, like I said, they're not on Alabama State level, and Alabama State made sure they were going to win this game. So for them, they won the Magic State Classic. They beat Tuskegee. You know, for the Alabama State, that's a successful season for those guys.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, Coach. We'll go to the next one. This was a game I watched just about every play of this game. I'll just give my analysis of it up front, Coach. And I'll address Grambling first, Coach. Coach, I don't know that I've seen a more putrid offensive performance since I've been watching HBCU football. You know, being that Miles Crawley was the preseason offensive player of the year, and for this to be the performance that they put up in the final game of the season, right? I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but I know it was less than 100 yards rushing and less than 100 yards passing, Coach. Like, this was a putrid, display offensively. Shout out to the Grambling defense and also their special teams, which tried to keep them in the game all game long from the very start. But again, they just weren't able to do so because of the offensive play. I thought Southern, in my opinion, looked like they've looked all season long. They benefited from some lackluster offensive play from their opponent. They were able to capitalize on a few things in the passing game, and then they got timely runs by Kendrick Grimes at the end of the game to kind of close it out. Also, kind of like the Alcorn game, in a sense, he was able to close the game out in the running game the same way. So, like I say, I can't say that I was impressed by either team. And for a team going into a SWAC championship game with Jackson State, they didn't give me any hope that this game would be close, that the championship game would be close or competitive. And I'll let you guys go from here.
Go ahead, Bishop.
Well, here was the thing. This is one of the games I had to unfortunately watch on my phone because I was lucky enough to take my mother to New York, and I was in and out. But the one thing about it, I'm gonna tell you something what I like what Southern did. They got that freshman playing time because they know what's coming up. So, like Coach said, you're talking about the balance of the offense. Like I said, I think Woods threw for a little bit under 200 yards, 188 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Rhymes had 110 yards rushing. So, I mean, Southern, the one thing I got to give Southern credit, they know who they are. And they have not deviated from who they are the whole year. And, a lot of people talk about, hey, where they won games and, overtime games. But the bottom line is they've only lost one conference game. They are 8-4. They are who their record is. And that bodes well for them, going into next week. So, Grambling is my most disappointed team. I was really high on Grambling. I thought Miles Crawley was going to have a breakout year. And they just, after that Jackson State win, it was like, I don't know what happened after that. They lost, I think, 2 close games. They lost to Prairie View, lost another close game. And then, just the wheels fell off. And then they come to the end of the year against their biggest rival. And I just didn't see the fight, that G-Man fight. And, then, of course, we're starting to hear reports about, coaching and things like that. And I'm always disappointed when I start hearing stuff like that because I have so much respect for all these men. But that Grambling G, again, they are known for discipline. They're known for tough-nosed football and not making mistakes. And I'm sorry, they just didn't represent the G this year.
Is it on me now, Coach?
Yes, it is.
I think it's
always on you, Coach.
First of all, I take my hat off to Terrence Graves. He's done, a good job of winning. At the end of the day, you got to win. and sometimes, unfortunately, you got to win ugly. So I'm gonna give him that. They've won a whole bunch of ugly games, and the 8 games that they won, 7 of them was by teams that hadn't won again. I mean, hadn't had a winning season, and then the one was by Alabama A&M. The game was atrocious, Coach. It's probably one of the worst Bayou Classic games I either seen or watched. You look at 9 first downs by a Grambling State football team, 14 by Southern, 148 total yards by Grambling, 387, but 180 came from passing, 209 came from 2 big long runs. This got to be better, and it's got to get better, and it's got to be better and get better in a hurry, because these 2 programs depends on fans. They depend on fans. In one aspect, Southern about to play in the championship, which is great. Again, I say I take my hat off to Terrence Graves and how he has made choices and options, not options, but make the right decisions on what they're doing in all these close games, but they got to get better, man. They got to get better and be better. And I think they can do that. I don't even never ever remember a Grambling team having 148 yards total offense. You, Coach Bishop? I remember Tremaine Johnson had that himself.
Hey, man, from the wingback position.
I remember Jake Reed would have that himself.
But Coach, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. And yes. I want to keep it interactive, because we got a lot of Southern folks. But the Southern folks want to ask you this question. They're saying that's the defense that put it on them, Coach. Now, what about that? Is it a lack of that, or did Southern's defense, which has played very well all year? What about that, Coach?
All year, without a doubt. I mean, defensive wise, their defensive end, he made play after play after play. But see, I don't look at it as a fan, Coach. I look at it as I'm evaluating. And when you run in the spread, Coach, and you got a defensive end that's shooting down because he's unblocked, right? Yeah. You're supposed to be reading him, right? So if he slants hard, should I give it to the back or should I pull it? So I'm with Southern. Y'all have a great defense. Y'all defense have allowed you guys to go to the championship game this week. I'm with you. I'm not knocking. I'm not saying as a whole team. I think you guys play great. I think the defense play at a higher level. Evidently, those coaches do a great job of scouting the other team. I get it. I get that. But on the other hand, like I tell you guys, when I watch the game, I watch it at a different view. You know what I'm saying? And some of the things that I seen that Grambling was trying to do to you guys, I mean, Jesus Christ. Miles Crowley, guys, was the number 1 quarterback pick. I know he was hurt. I'm going to give him that. He came in with so you got to protect him. So plays you got to call is be able to do what? Get the ball out of his hand. Not put him in situations where he got to hold the ball. You know what I'm saying? And this kid is getting hit by people, Southern. And see, I talked to some of the defensive coaches at Southern. They run and twist up front because they know that Grambling's offensive line don't know how to handle the twist. So you got guys hitting the quarterback flush. That's not good football. That's not good football. But yes, Southern defense, Jackson State offense. That's where the game gonna be.
So here's my deal, and I want to step in here because people really want to talk about Southern's defense, right?
Yes.
And I want to give you guys some credit, right, for being a competent defense. We won't have to speculate on how good y'all defense is this upcoming weekend. We won't. If you guys are able to shut down and control Jackson State, you will get your credit. But it's hard for me to give you credit for stopping an offense that was helping you stop themselves. It's hard. It's hard for me to give you credit for an offense that was inept, that was allowing free runners at the quarterback, that was missing blocks, that was getting the plays in late, that was, it was, come on now.
Can I get in here, Coach?
Go ahead.
McNeese State, worst team in the Southland Conference, scored 21. All right. You played Savannah State. They placed last in the SIC Division II. All right. You played Jackson State, put 33 on you. You played Prairie View. They scored their number of points, 24. You beat them 31-24. They played Nickel State, who's in last place in the Southland Conference. They put 51 on you, Coach. 51. All right. You played Texas Southern. They've been scoring 19 all year. Look at the stats. They scored their 19. Now, I remember you saying this, Rocky. I've never seen
unknown caller.
Southern University, they came in and beat the hell out of Alcorn State. They did. They held Alcorn to 14 points. That was one winning team. I'm saying your defense, your defense played ball. All right. Southern University, Florida A&M, 24 points. All right. Alabama A&M scored 20. All these are losing programs. Bethune-Cookman put 23 on you. All right. Pine Bluff 9, Grambling 14. So what, don't get so like we the 95 Bears. You're not the 95 Bears.
85 Bears.
I'm sorry. You're right. You're not the 85 Bears. You're not the 85 Bears. I'm sorry. Great. But you do play great defense. Out of your 8 wins, 7 of them was losing teams. So just slow down a little bit. Just slow down, and we're going to see what you're going to do against the number 1 offense in the country, the number 1 black college team in the country. Let's see if you can slow Jackson State down. We'll talk next week, and y'all, I want y'all to get on old Coach Cole if y'all slow them down.
So, and that's what I'm saying, Coach. It don't matter what a Grambling team that was a struggling Grambling team, y'all imposed y'all will on the struggling Grambling team. I give y'all that. If that's what y'all want to hear, y'all did that. Your defense dominated a Grambling team that was struggling on offense. Who you're playing next week, who you're playing this Saturday, it's not struggling on offense.
Yeah, one of our fans say, well, we held Florida A&M to 0 in the first half. Well, last time I heard, the game is 60 minutes. It's 60 minutes, right, Coach Bishop? It's 60.
Hey, it's 60. Hey, but listen,
hey,
man, you know what?
Hold on, Bishop. And if you gave Florida A&M 24 in the second half, which was scoring maybe what, Bishop, 6 or 7?
And I'll tell you this. My wife is sitting here right next to me. I'm finna say something real reckless, right? I'm covering all bets straight up that you want, however much you want to bet on Southern to win the game. I'm covering all bets.
He's thinking about paying his house note.
Whatever you want to bet on Southern, I'm covering it straight up. My wife is right there. So you tell me what you want to bet. If I have to get a loan, if I have to go to my thrift savings, if whatever you want to bet, whatever you want to bet on Southern to win the game, we can solidify it right here. We got. I got.
Listen. All right, now
Amari
listen.
Walker. I got 100. I got 100 from Amari Walker.
You better make sure you get all that. So listen, I'm gonna say something.
I got 100. I'm covering all of it.
Now listen.
100 on Teldrick. Okay.
Listen. They're not scared to bet you, but I'm gonna say this now. Even though I had to look up, I wanted to look up. We're gonna talk about this. The championships and things like that. But the Southern, I'm gonna tell you what the Southern people gonna say. They played Jackson State 3 times in the championship. They beat them twice. They said they're not scared. They said they coming prepared. They said they threw for almost 400 yards on Jackson State when they played them last time. They said they almost threw for 400 yards. That's what the Southern people gonna say. They said the defense is playing better than when they played Jackson State. They say they have come into the vet and won big game. That's what the Southern people are saying. Now, that's the text I've got. Now I'm from Jackson. I'm gonna say something a little bit different. But I gotta give a little bit back. I'm gonna put a little Columbia blue on somewhere behind me for my Southern folks. So Southern people.
I put my phone number in there. Text me, and I'm gonna call you and solidify the bet. Whatever. Just text me the amount and bet. That's all I need to hear, and we good.
Now, listen, I want all you all. Hey, listen, if y'all make this.
Since y'all believe in Southern, they the 85 Bears and the 91 Redskins and the 1992 Dallas Cowboys. If y'all believe all that, put your money where your mouth is.
Hey, listen, I want you. Hey, listen. Now I'm gonna say something. JSU Tiger just entered the chat, and I was about to bring this up. 4, if I have not scored in the second half. Hey, listen, that Jackson State defense, and this is what I'm gonna say to Southern. And you're playing a freshman, a true freshman, that's coming to the vet. Probably be, I don't know what the weather's going to be like. I haven't checked. I don't think it's going to be no 45, 50,000 people at this game. I think this game going to be about 30, 35,000.
Woo! I heard it's going to be more than that, Coach.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I just ain't heard the energy. Well, I hope it is. 35. I don't think it's going to be no 45, 50,000 in there. I just don't. Because they haven't done it all year. They just haven't had the energy like that. There's no disrespect. I just don't think Southern's going to bring all those people up there either. I don't think Southern's going to bring all those people. But what I'm saying is it's going to be a big crowd. This kid has never seen this. And I think, honestly, to the credit of Jackson State and that coaching staff, hey, man, they on a mission. And I've seen and just watched, and like I said, they've been handling their business. They ain't have guys all on social media bopping, running their mouths and stuff like that. They kept that thing tight. And I think they understand what's at hand, because I'm going to say this again. Jackson State has only won 10 games in their history. This would be the 3rd or 4th time. If they get to 12, will be the most all time. If they win, and I'm going to say this as a Jacksonian, as a Jackson State fan, if they win the Celebration Bowl, that will be the biggest win in Jackson State. They have never won a playoff game, and they have not won a Celebration Bowl. So T.C. Taylor will be making history that no other coach has done. W.C. Gordon never won a playoff game. Deion didn't win a Celebration Bowl. And I think they understand all that. So I don't think they're going to let Southern get in their way. But I think Southern, again, I think they have acquired confidence on defense, but I just don't know about a freshman quarterback.
Coach, let me say this. T.C. Taylor has matured as a head football coach. I think he's always been a great play caller with great defense. They've been shutting people out all year. They've been scoring points all year. They play as a unit. When I went back, I looked at all the numbers, kickoff, field goal. It ain't even no comparison with Southern. And I know you got to play the game. I know. And I know on any given Saturday or any given Sunday, well, that's what's going to have to happen for Southern to win this game. It's going to have to be the football gods. And it can happen, because I think if Coach Graves can keep the game close, he going to make the right decisions. But damn it, I don't see it being close.
Honestly, this is what I believe. I believe that Jackson State is in a game where they can go to their 3rd string quarterback and still be the favorite to win this game.
Yeah.
Like, that's how – think about it. Jackson State could lose their first 2 quarterbacks, go to their 3rd quarterback, and still be the favorite to win this game. Like I say, on paper, this is not a matchup that shows that it will be competitive in any way.
We'll see.
And again, I don't have a school in the SWAC. I don't have a HBCU school that I'm loyal to, right? I'm a Jackson State fan because of Deion. But this is not fandom that I'm talking about. This is straight football analysis. I've watched about 8 Southern games. I've watched about 9 Jackson State games. I've seen all the players, all of them.
Here's the reason why Southern can only throw the ball, but they don't throw it consistently. If you look at where they are, they don't even the quarterback threw for 1,100 yards this year. That's not so. He'll have a great game and then he won't have a great game, whichever one they play. Let me start by saying that Dillon is a 752 yards rushing, but they're not up in there. So if you divide 11 past 7, then what is that? 76 yards a game rushing. So if their passing game is not on, it ain't like they can balance it out with their run game. So they definitely gonna have to throw. So what Jackson State gonna do? Look, we got to prepare to stop the pass. All right. So that's why I'm saying, when you got a decent run game, and I know you love this, Rocky. When you got a decent run game, you got a chance.
And Coach, this
77 yards a game is not a decent run game.
This is something that you taught me, Coach. If a team can't score the national average, right? Odds are they're not gonna win many games.
Right.
Jackson State scores, I believe, 14 points above the national average. Yeah. So if they score 14 points less than their average, they still have an amazing chance to win the game.
That's right.
Because of, again, what Southern has proven, they are limited offensively. This is not Southern hate. This is not about me talking down on the team. This is simply football analysis. That's all. And I want to ask you, Campbell, am I missing something? Because the Southern faithful that's in this chat think I'm crazy. Am I missing something?
No, you're not. Listen, we got to be honest. Jackson State's the best team in the SWAC. And it's not even close in the second team. I mean, be honest with you, because whoever you want to list, I'm going to give Southern their credit because they're the West Champs. They're the second best team. FAMU will be the third best team because we're second in the East. There is a big gap between Jackson State and everybody else. And what you said, and see, this is the thing why I hate about games like this. When you've got a team, you've got a quarterback that's seasoned. You got an offensive line that's seasoned. You got a defense that's seasoned. You've got guys that have been through the wars. You've got T.C. Taylor, who has been around. There are a lot of chips that start making that scale start going to the other side. So then as a team like Southern, you know what you got to do? You got to hope for things to happen. I hate when I have to hope for turnovers. I got to hope that they play bad. I got to hope for certain things like that. That is not a real good ingredient for success. Because a lot of that, because what I would ask Southern is, tell me what you do really well that's going to stop Jackson State from what they do really well. That's going to be the question. And I'm going to say this again, and I think people need to understand this too. Nobody, since this format has been a home for the home team has never lost this game. Yeah. Home team has never lost this game. So you're going in the vet with a seasoned quarterback, a seasoned coach, defense playmakers, and then as Southern, you're hoping to turn them over. You're hoping that Jackson State has a bad game. And that usually does not bode well. That usually doesn't bode well. Because you can't sit back and say, man for man, that we are a better team or equal team than Jackson State.
Well, one of our people said that Jackson State loaded their schedule with SIA teams. I think they played one in Lane College. But understand this, Jackson State is on the East. And the East has been the toughest of the both leagues, the East and the West, and they won the East clearly. So no, I don't think that have anything to do with JSU schedule. Everybody they played, they beat convincingly. Let's make sure. And then the other question was I read is that will McNair have will he have something to do with? Well, McNair been there, on the offensive side of the ball, so. And that's the side of the ball they struggle. So, maybe, just maybe he can put some things together or help them put some things together for this game. Because it all comes down to this. They're just this game.
Coach, let me ask you this, because you've had a lot of experience coaching it, and I want to bring you this. Have you ever seen a team that goes to their third quarterback not because of injury and they have a high-powered or an efficient offense?
Never in my career have a team went to their third quarterback unless it was for injury purposes. And that's what happened to us at Tennessee State in the playoff game. We had to go to our third quarterback, which was a true freshman, never took a snap. And that's what happened. And of course, that was the game too. We ended up losing, I think, 14-7. Something like it was a close game because he couldn't get nothing going. I don't understand this quarterback rotation now that people are going to. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in it. I know I ain't been on the sideline, but even if I was on the sideline, that could never happen because either you allowing these kids to make mistakes or you coaching it that way. And I just feel that way. You know, I'm not putting nothing down on nobody, but I feel that way. There's no way that you rotating through three quarterbacks in one game consistently, you know, every other game or every game. I don't believe in that. I played quarterback, so I'm talking from taking snaps and from the gun. I was in the gun during my days, believe it or not, and I just don't believe in that. So if these guys are making that many mistakes, sometimes you got to look at yourself in the mirror, like Michael Jackson would say, it's the man in the mirror.
Well, let me ask you this, Campbell, because I'm gonna ask you this, and then Coach, you, if you want to answer. Do you think Southern's offensive staff will come into this game with pressure to put up points?
I think that's
yes.
Yeah. You got to score points to win. But see, I had to explain this to somebody. Hey, listen, this is what people, and Coach, you could talk more about this. You can't go in and put 30 new plays in a week. That's not how this works. This is not Madden. And I keep trying to explain, but they're going to come in with a whole nother offensive system. Y'all, this is not Madden. And I'm going to give you just a quick story. Coach Simmons tried to put in one play last year for the Celebration Bowl, that flea flicker play. It was like, I ain't going to call this, ain't going to work. That was one play that they tried. So you're talking about, so listen, Southern is who they are. The offense they're going to run is what they're going to run. The plays they're going to run.
They're going to run the inside zone 20 times.
They're going to run it. So the bottom line is they're going to have to execute. And, I see Blackwater Bayou said, we hate Southern. No. Okay, so Blackwater Bayou, here's one thing. I don't hate anybody. But what I will ask you as a Southern fan, and you put in the chat, you tell me what advantage you feel Southern has over Jackson State. Now, since we don't know, since we are haters, you tell me as a Southern fan, you tell me where the advantage that Southern has. I'm going to tell you what Jackson State has. The quarterback, the offensive line, the wide receivers, the coach, the deep, I'll call that, you know what? I'll give Southern that on a push.
The D-line?
Yeah, and listen, no, you know what we're telling you? Because they got the defensive player of the year. That's what they're going to holler out. That's the reason why I'm saying that. They're going to say we got the defensive player of the year, even though I believe Jackson State has a better. So what I'm asking you is, we're not hating. We're sitting up here watching the players play. We're watching them. So if we're hating, I'm asking you respectfully, you tell me what you think that Southern is that they do better than Jackson State. I'll wait. Go ahead, Coach.
And Coach, and this is what I want to say. I want to be complimentary to Southern in this regard. Y'all have provided me with, seriously, the best football game day experience I've ever had in my life at Southern Homecoming. The best game day experience I ever had in my life, and I want to give y'all a shout out to that. Like, that's amazing. And then I watched the game where your defense controlled the game, and y'all, in my opinion, your offense played way above their head against Alcorn State, and they were able to win the game, right? So shout out to Southern, whatever. But no team that I would say this, and this is what I'm going to really hang my hat on. If Nichols plays Jackson State beats Nichols by at least 14. And they beat y'all by 51 points.
Also,
My eyes are not lying to me.
Also, Jackson State would have beat McNeese as well. One of the worst teams in the Southland Conference. They'd have beat them too, Coach.
So again, I'm not being hyperbolic or anything like this. I think Jackson, you got to understand, Jackson State, in my opinion, was nose to nose on a competitive standpoint with ULM.
Yeah.
Right? I believe there was some strategic malpractice in that game that led the game to being a little more, the score being a little more, them losing more than what they should have. But again, Jackson State is not only a good coach team, they're a talented team. And there's no way. Okay, let me ask you this, Southern. Since you don't agree that Jackson State would have beat Nichols by 14, what's the score of Nichols versus Jackson State then?
Whew.
And Rocky, let me jump on something because I want to just throw out something. Jackson State is coming in this game averaging 36.8 points. Southern's averaging 21.6. On defense, Jackson State's only giving up 18.3. And I know they had a streak of 3 to 4 games that they didn't let anybody score in the second half.
Right.
Now Southern is right behind them at 21.8. And that's where the disparity is at on the offensive side of the ball. That's the thing where this game can get out of hand. So again, to Southern, I will say this. If Grambling gave everybody the playbook how to beat Jackson State. You got to get a lot of turnovers to get a pick six, right? That's how you beat them, a SWAC team. So if you need to go watch that tape.
And you got to convince them to play 2 quarterbacks.
There you go. So there you go, which I don't think is definitely going to happen. I think TCU understood that after that game, that Jacoby Morgan's the game manager of the year. Let's play him.
That's
so there
right.
you go. So the bottom line
is. Coach, and I don't mean nothing, and they took off. They took off. When they said this is going to be our guy, they took off.
Yeah.
And the kid played with a whole bunch more confidence that he wasn't afraid to make a mistake.
So
I saw
Varg brings
the
out
State game because that kid made play after play to win that game in that fourth quarter.
Varg brings up a point that I think proves our point, right? McNeese blew out Alcorn, right? We agree with that, right? But was the Jackson State Alcorn game a 3-point game, a 2-point game, a 1-point game?
No.
It was a 38-point game. So I consider that a blowout too, right?
Shit, that is a blowout.
So McNeese blew out Alcorn and Jackson State blew out Alcorn. So I'm saying this, guys. And again, I'm just saying this on paper. And I know the game is going to be played at the Vet this Saturday. So it won't be played on paper. And nothing we say tonight will make any impact on the game that'll be played this Saturday. What I'm saying is, on paper, even though Southern is 7-1 in conference, 8-4 overall, on paper, it's not even close.
You know what this remind me of, and you appreciate this, Bishop. This remind me of is when Prairie View took their ass down there to Florida A&M, thinking that it would be different, and it wasn't no different. I just don't think it's going to be a different. I watched the whole Bayou Classic, and I did it on purpose so I can get a feel of Southern and what they do, and they do play some defense. They got some kids that make some plays, but I like what TC Taylor do. You know, I played against a kid that played at Alabama A&M, guys. We were just talking about it. He played defensive end. Y'all remember who I'm talking about? I get his name. He went on to the pros. He played defensive end for Alabama A&M. He was a monster.
Mathis.
And if you know something about SWAC football, Mathis was an undersized guy that went to the NFL and was a bitch, Coach.
He was a problem.
He was a
whole problem.
Coach, I ran Eddie, around him, underneath him. Everything that he was good at, coach, we ran right at him. If he got upfield, we shuffled underneath him. If he slanted hard down, coach, we faked the ball and pitched it on the outside. He didn't know his elbow from his asshole, and he'll tell you that today. And I know Southern got some defensive ends. Them mugs come down. They can play, coach. They got some linebackers that can play. They got the secondary.
Jackson,
and even at the secondary, now remember, number 21, he can't even play until the second half. He got put out of the game with Spearing. So good coordinators attack those type of guys. And instead of making them just tee off, you run at them enough that now they thinking, you know what I mean, instead of reacting.
I want to look at Kelby Givens' stats against Jackson State the first game. I really wish I could bring those up.
Just hold on.
I think I had to pull it up because I was just looking. Actually, it's fun that you said that. I have.
Just hold on. I got it pulled up right here. But y'all go ahead. I'm gonna pull it up.
But I don't think he had any sacks.
Well, he had 5 tackles, 7 total, no sacks.
Yeah.
That's Jackson State. Matter of fact, it didn't look like anybody from Southern had sacked that game.
Man, I've seen Southern run some twists against Grambling, and the guy twists and run wide open and put his helmet right into the quarterback's chest. Not one time, several times. And you got to be better on the offensive line of handling those type of twists, especially when you want to throw the football.
Hey, Coach, hold up for a second before we continue this conversation. Hey, let's get some likes right quick. We just want to get a few more likes tonight, man. Can you give us some likes? We trying to get as many people in this joint as possible, man. This is a great conversation we're having, man. And the Southern people fired up, the Jackson State people fired up. Can we get just a few more likes as we continue this conversation? It's a dope conversation. I appreciate everybody on it today, man. And as we about to finish up the conversation about the SWAC preview, and we're gonna open up the phone line. So can we get a few more likes before we move on with the show?
Let me see some guys. We're talking about, man, give me some of that music, Coach. Damn, give me some of that music, too. And we're talking about the SWAC Conference Championship game is down to 3 HBCU, South Carolina, Southern University, and Jackson State. All 3 blue bread HBCUs, man. If we don't love ourselves, Coach, then damn the Big 12, damn the Big 10, damn the SEC. This SWAC football, baby.
All right, cut the music, because I got to ask Coach, cut the music. Now, Coach, listen. You are actually a SWAC championship coach.
Yes.
Nobody else in this chat can say that. Nobody on this screen can say that. So I'm going to ask you, because what I do like about Southern people, as they say, they are not scared of Jackson State. So what I'm going to ask you, what is Coach Graves, not the X and O's part, we know about the execution, but what is he telling them from a psychological standpoint, being the underdog that they're going into the vet? What would you be telling your team?
See this what I got over those Southern fans. I know Coach Graves. I know him personally. I know when he played at Winston-Salem, stayed under Pete Richardson, which coached me in high school, as well as you guys know, I coached on him at Southern University. See, he laying in the wood. He laying in the trees on us, Rocky. He know, let Cole say this. Let Rocky say, let the coach's corner. Yeah, he gonna use all this. You know what I mean? He gonna use it all, Coach. And he gonna say they ain't giving us a chance. We baby blue and gold, baby. We Southern University. We run this South. We just got to play with our eyes and feet. We got to make the big plays. Everybody got to do their job. And guess what, baby? We're going to shock the world. It's us against the world. So I know he's going to build off of this. You know what I mean? And he might even show some of his players. You know what I mean? And then I know the D-line coach guy, Chris Scott, worked for me at Tennessee State. He played linebacker for Southern, D-line coach. because they're gonna use these things, you know. And that's what I would be saying, guys. We gotta slow them down. We can't make no mistakes, and nobody expect us to win this game but us. So when we walk up there in Memorial Stadium, don't look around, just look at each other. We got to block, tackle, and run.
Coach, all that sounds good, Coach. That sounds amazing, and I know they're gonna be fired up and ready to go. But what are they gonna do when Irv Mulligan, Jacoby and Morgan, True Thompson, all those guys run out that tunnel on the vet? Does any of that matter once those guys run out that tunnel?
Well, Coach, you know, hey, I'm putting my 11, you put your 11, and on any given Saturday, Coach, you know, things can happen. Things can happen, and that's the plus of Southerns. If the game is close, count on Southern. If the game is close,
I can't even. Coach, let me. You know the reason why I can't. And I got correct. They say he's a redshirt freshman. I was looking at it. They say it was a freshman, so they have it listed wrong. You telling me that if the game is so okay, when we say close, does that mean Southern's up by 3 or down by 3?
Up.
Okay, so so we're going into the fourth quarter. So okay, so I lived this horror in the vet. We're up. 5 minutes left, Coach. The boom is quiet. Zoe ain't rocking him and kid. I ain't even see him. I said, Coach, we gonna win this game. I looked him up. It was all 8 of us, all 8 FAMU people. We gonna win this game, Coach. And that True Thompson knocked Daniel Richards' goddamn head off. And the boom started booming. And Zoe started running his mouth again. And Kid Clark turned that hat. And bro, that doggone vet got rocking, Coach. I'm trying to tell you, 3 ain't enough. We had a quarterback that had started 45 games, and it wasn't enough. So I'm just telling you, a freshman in the vet against Southern with another band playing. I'm just trying to tell you.
You better say the Sonic Boom. Don't be talking about no other band playing. That's
no. I'm talking about Southern's band. You know, I'm saying the other band. You know, with another band, we weren't there. So I'm just saying the environment is just going to be different.
And that was Daniel Richardson's worst moment in the SWAC that I saw.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Maybe.
That quarter, those last 5 minutes.
Yeah. But I'm just telling you, with a seasoned quarterback. And those kids made a play, and all I'm saying is, and I'm just thinking, Coach, and now just go back, Coach. What do you? If you have a freshman, redshirt freshman, just call him freshman. We ain't gonna get into the semantics. How do you get him? And he's looking around, and it's loud. The boom is booming. You got all these pom pom away. What do you tell a freshman into that point when he comes out like Daniel Richardson did, and you say, "You're Coach Great. We got to get a drive here to win this." What plays are you telling? What are you trying to give him to be successful?
Well, one thing I told him to focus on one play at a time. You don't have a short memory. Our game plan's got to be around what he can do best. You know, we're not going to create nothing. We're not putting in 12 different plays.
My name is Danny Wilson, and I won $500 on the lunch break with AJ Jones.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.